Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another ACW Newscast. This is Newscast number 48. I am Hakeem Johnson, your ACW commentator as always, and today is my goal to keep this newscast short and sweet to the point, and hopefully I can. I know some people thought I was going to keep it short last time, but I ended up going over the time allotted, so we're going to try this again. Okay, so, criticize me away if I go too long, but I'm going to try my best here. Let's talk about your questions and answers. Your questions and comments. I'm the one with the answers, obviously. And I got a lot of questions this week, actually, and I'm very surprised I did. I kind of posted the status in last minute, and I still got a lot of questions, or at least enough questions to do a newscast. So I want to thank everybody that sent me a question, and I want to tell everybody that if you want to send me a question, or if you want to send me a comment that pertains to anything, it doesn't have to be ACW or call related. It can be anything. You can send it to me on Facebook, or you can send it to me on YouTube. You can message me on YouTube, or you can post on the status on my Facebook page or on the Anime Championship Wrestling page. So let's get started. Eddie Salado, sorry if I said your last name wrong, asked me, do you plan on bringing characters from Berserk to ACW? I think I answered this question before too. But I haven't been able to watch Berserk. I've heard of that, and I've heard of the show before, but I just haven't been able to watch it. You gotta understand, first of all, I got other animes to watch. First of all, that are kind of top priority, and then I've got work. I do wrestle. I do a lot of stuff that requires some of my free time, and then I gotta do other editing with ACW related stuff, and I go to the gym because, big buff guy, and then, I'm gonna start going back to school, probably this upcoming late fall, early spring. So I got a lot of things that are occupying me right now. So, but I'm not saying that I wouldn't watch Berserk. I do want to watch it because I've heard a lot of things about Berserk, and a lot of the mature content about it, and I'm kind of intrigued and interesting to see what that show truly is all about. And if I see an interest of certain characters that would be possible for ACW, obviously I'll use them. I remember years ago people wanted me to bring the Get Backers to ACW, but I never understood why until I watched the anime. Now the anime could have been a little bit better, it could have been way better, but it was still a good anime. Even when I watched the English dub version of it, it was kind of corny, and it was kind of campy, and it was kind of more comedy than it was really action, if you want to say it like that. But I didn't really have a problem with it. I really didn't. It could have been a great anime, but it was still a good anime. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching the Get Backers. So, and I saw why people wanted me to bring Bon and Genji into the fold, so I brought them in because I think I can do a lot of interesting things with them, comedy-wise and in terms of in-ring action. So that's why I brought them in. So if I feel the same way with Berserk, I'll bring them in. So never say never on that regard. My man Gary Connell Jr. asked me several questions. He asked me 3 questions, actually. Alright, first question. What are your thoughts on Fergal Devitt, also known as Prince Devitt, getting signed to WWE? I love it because I've always been a fan of Prince Devitt. He's one of those foreigners that I've always enjoyed watching wrestling. People were always raving about Pac, and who's now Adrian Neville, and they were raving about Kevin Steen and El Generico, who's now Sami Zayn, and even to the point of Sami Callihan, who's now Solomon Crow in the NXT. But for me, Fergal Devitt, Prince Devitt, he's one of those guys that I was very interested in watching. He's one of those guys that keep me interested in Japanese pro wrestling, strong style. He was one of those guys that really has a great athletic sense about him, and that he wrestles strong style, but at the same time he's small, so he wrestles fluidly and athletically. Now my thoughts on him going to WWE, I'm very intrigued. I just, in the back of my head, there's always this cynicism in me, and it's all fair to me that I have cynicism in the back of my head, because the WWE for a number of years, especially recent years, have created that cynicism in me, which is very justified. But I have always had this cynicism that they'll give Devin some stupid name, or they'll give him some stupid character, or some stupid storyline to get him to the main shows. Like I remember when he got signed, I heard jokes that he might be just signed with Sheamus to be his brother since he's Irish and whatever, and that could really be as true can be. So I just hope they don't pair him with any stupid gimmicks. I mean, if they gotta put him on NXT to make him learn the WWE style and the WWE way of wrestling, I don't really mind that so much. Just I don't want him really changed at all. Is that too hard to ask? Like Kevin Steen, he's coming to the WWE now, so you're gonna change his name to something other than Kevin Steen? Kevin Steen is his brand. The reason why he kind of got away with it with Daniel Bryan, because Bryan Danielson has been such a revered legend in the Indies, and that it was a play on his name that people kind of, accepted it for what it is. And with CM Punk, that was thanks to more so Paul Heyman, as he stated in his DVD. But CM Punk became a brand, especially when he came in from Ring of Honor during his epic Summer Punk in 2005. So I hope Prince Devitt does well, and I hope he succeeds. I'm just a little bit cynical as to how they're going to do it. That's all. Second question, what are your thoughts about gaming today? Oh, man, I've talked about this a lot of times. And I can go on a big rant, but I'm going to try to keep this short and to the point. Gaming today is very corporate. It's very... how do I put this? It's very agenda-driven by certain special interests that are from the outside looking in or trying to get in or are already being let in thanks to these so-called quote-unquote gamers and gaming journalists that claim that they were fans way back when and now are the same douchebags that are letting the likes of Anita Sarkeesian and Feminist Frequency and people from the Christian community and people from the LGBT community and the people from the African American community and every other community that has their own agenda and has their own financial endgame to change the way gaming is. And I necessarily don't like that because, gaming used to be about fun. Gaming didn't used to be about, oh my goodness, the graphics are 11 out of 10 lols. It never used to be about that. It just used to be about, having fun playing a game that you enjoy. The challenges and difficulties of a game, how you didn't have to use any downloadable content pack, how you didn't have to, look online for the cheats. You had to really work your way into finding strategies of beating the game. And could you imagine if Super Mario 64 came out today? You can beat that game probably in 5 minutes if you looked online for the cheats and all that crap. So what's the point of that game? So yeah, the gaming industry right now is very watered down and very corporate in terms of that, because the same people that were gamers and gaming journalists that try to push away the guys that said video games cause violence and murders and all that crap are the same, ironically and hypocritically, the same people that are letting these people in that don't give a damn about gaming change the way gaming is, per se. Especially the likes of Anita Sarkeesian and her agenda and the way and people of her ilk try to come in and try to play victim. It's funny. Anita Sarkeesian was trying to talk about how damsel in distress characters have been a trope in gaming, which is kind of true, and tries to name all these examples. Yet she acts like when she got criticized and when she banned comments on her videos, she was playing the victim card as well. So that would make her a hypocrite. But of course, people in certain video game industries, certain people that are a part of the industry, and certain companies in the industry, they won't say anything because for them, she brings them money, and they'll invite her to all these stupid ass conventions and speaking and seminars. Ugh. I'll stop right there because I can really go on an hour-long rant about that stuff. And his third and final question was, have you heard of a call league called XFAMX, also known as Forever Movement? Because their material is pretty awesome, if I say so myself. Like their pay-per-views, Extreme Rules, and the Royal Rumble. I have not seen that call league, but now I will be keeping an eye on it now. I've never heard of that call league before, but I'll check it out sometime soon and see what I think about it and let you know. Alright. Matty Dangerously, my boy. My good friend, fellow Pisces, and the colleague owner of UCCW. Make sure you guys check that out on YouTube if you haven't already. He sent me 3 questions as well. 1. What are your thoughts on Del Rio getting fired by the WWE? Now, this is the big news that came out from the WWE this week, and it's still ongoing to this day. So, as of right now, we probably don't know the full details of it, but from what I gathered right now, going on the details, is the fact that Alberto Del Rio got fired due to unprofessional conduct, and it happened as the fact that a staff member came up to the social media director during catering, and the staff member asked for the social media director to clean his plate, and the social media director made a thinly veiled racist sensitive comment saying that's Del Rio's job, and somebody got word of that and told Del Rio, and Del Rio confronted the social media director and asked for an apology, and he kind of had a smug smile on his look and didn't apologize, so Del Rio, with furious rage, smacked the crap out of him, and now he's been fired as a result. Now, my thoughts on this are simple. It's both their faults. And when I mean both, I'm talking about the staff member. Not really. It's both their faults. I'm talking about the social media director and Alberto Del Rio. It's the staff member director's fault for trying to make a racial comment in a PC world, because that's what we live in. You can't really make jokes anymore without being criticized or even having the risk of your job being fired or being your voice silenced. So you should know better that his joke, no matter how unintentional or intentional it was going to get him in a lot of hot water. So he's wrong on that end. And come on, it was really a pretty thinly veiled racist comment. That's not even a debate. But Alberto Del Rio is also in the wrong, and a lot of people that have read the news are not giving Alberto Del Rio enough blame. It's ADR's fault just as much as well. Yes, I can see why you were upset. I can see why that could be offensive to somebody such as yourself. I can see why his smug attitude can just set you off and smack the crap out of him. Trust me, we've all had those times, and we've all seen those people that have done certain things that make you want to just smack the taste out of their mouth. I get it. I really do. At the end of the day, however, Alberto Del Rio, Dos Caras Jr., you are a professional wrestler. Quote-unquote professional wrestler. And it is your job to conduct certain behaviors and actions in a professional manner. You work for a multi-millionaire company in the WWE. And you are a representation of that such company. You are a multiple-time world champion, and you are one of the more regular faces on television, and you must present yourself and represent yourself well. Just because you got sensitive doesn't mean you had the right to smack somebody in the face. Now, again, we're going by the dirt sheets, and they could be dead-ass wrong for all we know. Yes, some of the dirt sheets, and some of the people really just rely on dirt sheets too much. Just like, pump the brakes here. Sometimes these dirt sheets are 100% on the money, and some of these dirt sheets can be dead-ass wrong. So we won't know fully until somebody speaks or until we get more proof of this. But as what we're going by right now, Del Rio is just as much in the wrong as the social media director. Now, the WWE also made reference to this on their Twitter and Facebook page, I believe. Very interesting. Now, this could be a work, because if it was, in my opinion, if it was 100% shoot, then not only would the WWE not be following Del Rio, they wouldn't even be acknowledging him anymore. And if it was such a serious action such as what Del Rio made or did, then WWE wouldn't have referenced it at all until they had no choice but to, due to backlash from the fans and the people. So this could be a work. Now, I gotta ask, why would they do a work shoot angle with Alberto Del Rio? what's the end game here. So this could be shoot, but so you can make the argument whether it's a shoot or a work. It's kind of like the CM Punk situation earlier this year, but not really, in the fact that people thought Punk being out for so long was going to be a work to something, and it never truly was, and he was actually a shoot. And by the way, the CM Punk, him leaving, is a shoot. It's not a work anymore. Stop hoping that CM Punk's going to come back and have this awesome feud when Daniel Bryan comes back, or when he has to feud with the Brock. He's gone. Accept it. But, yeah, so we don't really have much more information than that. I'm just saying from what I'm reading and what I'm analyzing from the reports is that both the social media director and Alberto Del Rio are both in the wrong in that sense, in my opinion. Since you, and Matt asked me the second question, since you like the Austin Warrior feud storyline, what is your thoughts on the upcoming VGWGP Tag Team title match between Warrior Wear Inc. and Austin and Rock? I'm looking forward to it. I really do like Warrior Wear and what the potential they have for UCCW, and I think they could be the top tag team, as they pretty much are right now in on the Warzone aspect of everything. I think the Warrior Wear team has to go over. You have to establish, I might be 23 years old, and I might have been born in 91, and I might be your fellow Pisces and everything, but I also grew up on a lot of old school. I grew up on WCCW down in, Texas. I grew up on the NWA, WCW aspect of the early 90s. I grew up on the WWF from the New Generation to Attitude Era. I like a lot of old school kind of style and ways and how you want to present yourself. One of the things I do with Anime Championship Wrestling is to make everything make sense. A lot of these colleagues these days don't really implement storytelling and psychology, in-ring psychology, into their matches. It's just, okay, I'm going to press this button to do a move, I'm going to press this button to do a move, I'm going to press this button to do a move, yada, yada, yada. That's what I see with a lot of colleagues these days, and even some of the ones that I do watch. And don't get me wrong, I do love those shows, I do love those leagues that I watch, but sometimes it can be a little repetitive when people kind of are doing the same thing over and over and over again. And with me, I try to implement storylines, and I try to implement in-ring psychology as much as I do crowd psychology. And I like to do long-term storyline planning, because it all makes sense at the end of the day. And that's how you're invested in these characters, that's how you're invested in the storylines and then into the show overall. And that's what I do pretty much, that's what I learned from. So, just by looking from what I'm seeing from the aftermath of Killer Instinct and now the Warzone episode this past week, I think Warrior Wear needs to win this match to establish themselves as the dominant heel tag team that they should be right now. Austin Rock are Austin and Rock. They don't really need to really be over right now at this stage. They don't really need this win at this point. Warrior Wear does. If Warrior Wear loses the titles and loses this match to Austin and Rock, then the Warrior Wear tag team will be cut under his knees, pretty much. Even if you try to rebuild it, it's not going to be the same. So they have to be built up in this way. So my prediction is that Warrior Wear will retain those titles. And his third question is, which new WWE talent are you looking forward to the most in 2015? Kevin Steen, Kenta, Prince Devitt, or others? I am looking forward to Prince Devitt, although I'm very skeptical about it. Kenta's another one that I'm kind of skeptical of as well. He's a really great hand. He's probably going to fill that CM Punk void. Not really, but he will. But again, I'm skeptical because look at Yoshitatsu, look at what they did to a superb talent like Taka, Michinoku, and Funaki when they were Kaientai. As funny as they were, but still, Tajiri when he first came into the WWF. So, a lot of these Asian wrestlers have not had a good track record. We talk about how African American wrestlers don't have a good track record at times in the WWE, but I think Asian wrestlers have it even worse at times. And hopefully Kent is different. I hope so. I mean, they had a big sign. They even had Hulk Hogan and Jimmy Hart come to Japan and make him sign the contract with him. So I'm assuming there's going to be big things happening, but very skeptical. I don't know. Kevin Steen, he could pan out, he could not. I mean, people were saying the same thing about Chris Hero being a big star when he gets called up, and he never was because, admittedly, some of it was his fault. But I could probably see Kevin Steen in the same way. I don't know, so we'll have to see. Um, Joshua Howell asked me, "Did you enjoy seeing Dixie Carter get put through a table?" Yes, yes, I did. I enjoyed it very, very much. And finally, the storyline paid off. I'm glad. Impact was a good show. Very good show this week. For all the crap that TNA gets, and it deserves most of it, trust me, because the first part of this year for TNA was just god awful. But ever since Slammiversary, they've been stepping their game up. They've been putting out stellar shows after stellar show. Now we can talk about the inconsistencies and continuity problems and plot holes here and there. We can talk all about that, and it's all justified. But as an entertainment standpoint, as a pro wrestling standpoint, I'm more interested in TNA right now than the WWE. Now that could be for various reasons, because the Spike TV situation, because of Bobby Lashley as world champion, if TNA will be even around after Bound for Glory. But right now, TNA has my interest right now more than WWE right now. It's in my opinion. So I did enjoy Dixie Carter going through the table, and props to Dixie for doing that spot when she didn't have to. Props for her. Ooh, excuse me. And Hightower XJ, my boy, asked me a couple of questions here. One, can we get the next mega event on YouTube? I asked this question last time for Apocalypse if they wanted to see that on YouTube, and the majority pretty much said they didn't want to, that they're fine with mega events on Blip TV. So for the time being, it's gonna be on Blip TV. Now, never say never to a mega event being on YouTube. I may ask that question again, maybe around Royal Rumble time if possible. But for right now, we're gonna keep the mega events on Blip TV and VO. Two, what them damn white tigers at? Well, I can't really spoil anything for you, but stick around. They're still there, and they'll still be around. Trust me. Three, is Dark Magician a cruiserweight? Not really. He's debuting next week, but I don't have him really planned as a cruiserweight, and he wasn't really hyped as a cruiserweight, so I'm assuming not. But he may fit the weight limit. So you never know. Will there be a Sagat and Mugen feud? Well, technically Sagat and Mugen are feuding because they feuded leading up to Apocalypse for the television title. Sagat unsuccessfully got the title from Mugen. So there's a feud there. It's still ongoing as far as I know. So, but we'll have to see for the upcoming Impulse episodes, which again I cannot spoil. You'll just have to find out when Impulse comes out, because I'm a sadistic bastard like that. 5. This is a hypothetical question. What are your thoughts on a Goku-less Impulse, as in Goku stepping down from Impulse as a general manager for whatever reason? Who, in your opinion, can take up the mantle? Again, can't spoil those because those are within plans that I have for future Impulse episodes. But what I can say is that, you know, Goku's been the general manager for so long. He's been the constant on Impulse that him being there would be very weird and would be very, in a way, it would be very empty. You know, it's gotten to the point now that Gohan, his own son, the Impulse champion, has challenged him to a match at no boundaries, and that if Goku were to accept that challenge and lost, he would no longer be general manager, and he'd have to leave ACW forever. And it's very possible, you know, to not have a Goku on ACW anymore. I don't know who's capable or willing to take over those big shoes that they would have to fill on Goku's end, but I don't know. All I hope is that whoever takes over Goku's spot does it for the better and not for the worse. I'll put it that way, because those are going to be big shoes to fill. Torn Anthony Fluker asked me 5 questions, and of course, there goes my promise. This may be a running gag saying that I want to keep this short and sweet to the point, and it just goes an hour. This might be just a running gag. I might just do it just because of that. What do you think of the rivalry between Brie Bella and Stephanie McMahon at SummerSlam? I don't really care. Honestly, I really don't care. Like, the Bellas, in my opinion, they can't act for crap. People overrate their hotness a lot. I've seen and done way better women. Trust me. So I'm not saying they're not hot. You know, I'm not saying that I wouldn't if I got the chance. If John Cena and Daniel Bryan weren't around, if I wouldn't get the chance, I'd get the chance. I'm not saying that. I'm a man at the end of the day, but I think people overrate their sexiness a lot because they're twins and they have a lot of makeup and they wear revealing clothes to make themselves confident in themselves or whatever. So, they're average, to be honestly. They're really average. This whole feud with Stephanie and Brie. It's funny how Brie and Stephanie is like the second most important feud in the WWE right now behind Cena and Lesnar. And it may be the most important one since Cena and Lesnar haven't really been showing up on Raw really in a consistent basis for this feud. And we're like less than 2 weeks away from SummerSlam. I gotta say, I just really don't care about that feud. I really don't care about the feud. The match is probably gonna be whatever. Hopefully they can get it over with. Rumors are saying that Nikki will turn on Brie Bella at SummerSlam. Whatever, I really don't care. We've already seen the Bellas feud with each other before. It wasn't interesting the first time. It won't be interesting this time. And this is just another way for the Authority to just overcloud the WWE right now. And it's just getting to. This is why the WWE right now is less interesting to me than TNA right now. Because the build-up for SummerSlam has been so lackluster. Think about it. Let's start at the top. Cena versus Lesnar. This feud would be so awesome, and the hype that it's been getting would be so awesome if John Cena didn't beat Brock Lesnar at Extreme Rules in 2012. And what a bunch of crap that decision was. You have Brock Lesnar return after 7 years of not being a part of the company. 7 years of not being a part of the company. And the first match back, you make him lose to John Cena, the same John Cena that lost to The Rock at WrestleMania 28 prior. And Brock Lesnar that beat the crap out of John Cena that whole match, only for him to lose anyways to John Cena anyways. What the hell? So now, and honestly, whoever wins it's going to be a loser situation. If Brock Lesnar wins that match, a lot of you people that want to be moronic about this, saying that, oh, it's okay, Cena can win the title because it's going to be Cena and Lesnar's going to beat him up, and he's going to take the title out of him. Did you ever think of the possibility that if Lesnar does win, he's not going to be on Raw every week, so the champion really won't be there. And then he's scheduled for Night of Champions, where he's going to probably face John Cena again, because John Cena will get another return match. And that's where he's going to drop it back to John Cena, making John Cena a 16-time world champion and ties with Ric Flair. Did you think about that? But then again, you lose on the other side. If John Cena wins, what was the point of this feud? What was the point of Brock Lesnar really even beating Undertaker and ending the streak? So you're telling me John Cena is going to be the one that defeats the 1 in 21 in Brock Lesnar? Is that what you're telling me? So you're going to completely piss away Brock Lesnar's supposed momentum of him ending the streak by giving it to John Cena when he doesn't need it. And if you're going to do that, if you're going to really let John Cena retain the title here, don't have him lose the title. Don't have him lose the title for the remainder of the year. Just don't do it anymore. You might as well just go all the way to WrestleMania 31 where you can drop it to Roman Reigns there. Because I don't see anybody else that can really beat John Cena and really be taken seriously. And that includes Seth Rollins with the Money in the Bank briefcase. I'm sorry. This is why the WWE has become so predictable and suck. Because there's really no buzz. There's no energy right now. I mean, you look at the rest of the card. Brie and Stephanie. I don't care. I really don't care. Ambrose and Rollins is probably the most interesting feud that I'm looking forward to. The most interesting match I'm looking forward to. And they even cut that on the knees. Instead of doing an unsanctioned match. Like, the one Shawn Michaels and Triple H had at SummerSlam in 2002. Which was one of the best SummerSlam matches of all time, by the way. But instead of doing an unsanctioned match, or a false count anywhere match, or like some kind of hardcore match with the personal animosity between these two for weeks, you have a lumberjack match? A lumberjack match? Why? It should be just Rollins and Ambrose, one-on-one, no bullshit. But a lumberjack match? If you wanted to keep Ambrose and Rollins into the ring and not let them go out then, why not just do a cage match? It would still complete the purpose of them having animosity towards each other, but yet you keep them in the ring so that only one person can win. That's why this makes no sense to me anymore. And then also, what else do you have? You have The Miz vs. Dolph Ziggler. That looks interesting, but you know that nothing's gonna come out of it. Miz will win. Dolph Ziggler will go back to jobbing, and Miz will keep winning. At least Miz a better Intercontinental Champion than Sheamus, a United States Champion, because at least the Miz defends the Intercontinental title, and Sheamus is just right now doing nothing with it, obviously. What the hell? And then what else you got? Roman Reigns and Randy Orton? You know Roman Reigns is going to win, because he's going to be the next big guy, and he's getting the Brock Lesnar push. So this SummerSlam right now is just not interesting. Oh yeah, Jericho and Wyatt. Who cares, really? They butchered that feud right now for me. And Bray Wyatt's momentum has clearly been derailed and dethroned now, thanks to that Cena thing that happened at WrestleMania 30. Just WWE right now, there's no spark in my opinion with the WWE right now. I didn't even watch this week's show of Raw. I didn't, because I just don't care right now. Not saying that they're horrible or anything, it's just I don't care right now. I'm sorry, I just don't. TNA, for all the bad crap it deserves and it gets, it's keeping me intrigued. There's some energy about it right now that I can't explain right now, but it's keeping me intrigued. I can't say the same thing about WWE. So there you go, my mini WWE rant there. Do you think the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie directed by Michael Bay, was an absolute disgrace? If it was, why? I have not watched that movie. I don't think I plan on watching that movie either, but from what I'm hearing on Facebook, Twitter, and just movie reviews in general, I'm hearing that that movie sucks. I'm hearing that it was a typical Michael Bay movie. It was just all about all the action. It was all action, all hype. No storyline behind it. Made the whole Ninja Turtle series look completely ridiculous in comparison. Made the Ninja Turtles completely away from their original personalities. Shredder was a bad villain. I don't know. I haven't watched this, so I can't really judge like that, but they haven't been good reviews, let's put it that way. 3. Who is going to stop the same regime and how? Shh. No spoilers, Torin. You're going to have to find out on Impulse when it happens. Because I'm a sadistic bastard like that. What do you think of the movie Guardians of the Galaxy? Again, I haven't seen that movie. I do plan on seeing it this week, though. But, again, I've heard good reviews for it. It's probably one of the best Marvel movies in quite some time, so I've heard about that as well. Yeah, so I've heard good things about it, and I'll go check it out when I get a chance. Hopefully this week, though. Hopefully this week. And this final question, and I kind of already answered this. What do you think of the two legendary wrestlers from New Japan Pro Wrestling, Kenta and Prince Devitt, entering the WWE? Like I said already answered this question, but I'm hopeful for Devitt and Kenta to really do a lot of good things for NXT, at least for the time being, and then eventually the WWE, but I'm very skeptical and cynical of how they'll do it when they get brought up to the WWE's main show, Raw. So I'm right now 50-50. It could succeed and it could not. And Darian Rose will ask the final questions here. Darian Rose, number 1. What are your predictions for the John Cena versus Brock Lesnar Championship match at SummerSlam? I've kind of already answered this already. It's a lose-lose situation, honestly, to me. But if I had to predict the match the way it's going to go down, I assume Brock Lesnar will win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship from John Cena. That can be either due to Heyman interference, Triple H interference, or just Brock Lesnar beating John Cena clean, which never happens unless you're The Rock. But yeah, I assume Brock Lesnar will win at SummerSlam the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, because otherwise, why the hell would you bring him back? Why the hell would you hype him up this hard at this point? If you're going to really have John Cena retain the title here, then you may as well have John Cena hold the title till WrestleMania 31 next year, so that he can drop it to Roman Reigns and make a big star out of him. Because there's no point for anybody else to win that title at this point. There really isn't. That's the John Cena problem that the WWE has been feeding for all these years. You know, people always bitch and complain about... I'm really getting tired of all these John Cena defenders and white knighters that try to come up here and try to defend him just to be cool and different. It's not even really about hating him at this point. At least for me, it's not me hating him. He's a really good wrestler. He's a good worker at these points. He's really improved from these past few years. I can recognize that. And when he's really good, he can be one of the best promo workers in the WWE today when he really wants to. And he's got great charisma. Obviously, he's got the WWE look. So he's pretty much your overall total package of what you want in today's WWE. The problem is that you cannot relate to the character. You can't relate to the character in any way. You can't relate to the character in any way. You can't. There's nothing about John Cena that redeems yourself anymore. He hasn't evolved. No, him making a new T-shirt, a new wristband does not mean he evolves. So, John Cena, WWE could be making stars. They could have been making stars years ago. And instead, it always comes back to John Cena. Now, I get why, because he's a brand. He's the guy that everybody looks to as a top guy, or at least a top guy in today's WWE. But at some point, you got to make these new stars. So what happens if Roman Reigns gets popular as Cena when we get to WrestleMania 31? What happens? Are you going to turn him heel and do some dumb dick stuff and make him lose to Cena anyways? Because that's what you did to Ryback. That's what you did to CM Punk. What's stopping you from doing this to Roman Reigns at this point? You got to make these new stars, because John Cena is not going to do this forever. John Cena is not going to do this forever. He's 37, 38 years old. He's getting up there. His body's probably beat up at this point. He's probably begging for some of these guys to be made into new stars so they can carry the load with him. Now, of course, John Cena is a politician backstage, just like any other top guy that's ever been in the WWE. And make no mistake about it, any top guy in the WWE in the history have always done some backstage political maneuvers to keep their spot, and you would be stupid if you didn't either. But it's a lose-lose situation, because if Brock wins, he's only going to hold it for a month. He's going to give it back to Cena, and Cena will be a 16-time world champion, making another pointless title reign, and tying with Ric Flair. If Cena retains, then Brock Lesnar's momentum is shot. His character doesn't mean anything anymore, and their streak ending is completely non-existent, and Cena might as well hold it till WrestleMania 31. So, Brock Lesnar will win, but whatever. Number 2, what do you think of the new graphics on WWE 2K15? I love them. I knew 2K would start improving a lot of things about the game that I'm looking forward to, and I knew graphics would be one of them, but I did not think it would be this improved. If you just take a look at the comparisons of 2K14's graphics and the 2K15 leaked screenshots, they are night and day. The 2K15 graphics look almost authentically real. Especially the Randy Orton screenshot. That looks like Orton if it was real. Like, it's perfect. It's adding more layers into the way you do graphics on the game, and I appreciate 2K15 for doing that. Now, I hope that's not the only thing they improved on, however. Especially for colleagues, I hope the, creative wrestler mode is improved a lot. And a lot of the things that colleagues do and use, I hope those are improved as well. I hope we get I hope we get a really good story mode too. I think the Attitude Era one was pretty cool. I liked that one. I heard the 2K14 one was crap. I didn't buy it, but I heard it was crap. The WWE 12 one sucked, because who wants to be Sheamus for like an entire arc for a story mode? That's stupid. But I hope they improve on certain those things. We'll have to wait until more news is revealed, but I'm very optimistic right now with WWE 2K15, and if it's that good, then I am going to buy it. I'm going to buy 2K15, and if it's really that good, you may see ACW make their transition over there. You never know. And Darian's last question was, how was the WWE TV invasion on UCCW Warzone, and would you be ready if WWE TV were to invade ACW? It's funny, the beginning segment of UCCW, when I saw Seth Rollins and Triple H, I was thinking to myself, oh my god, is it Monday? This feels like a 20-minute segment on WWE Raw right now. Especially when I saw Triple H and Seth Rollins as Randy Orton. It's just, wow. But I thought it was executed well. I like the fact that you guys did the invasion, but you guys didn't overdo it. You guys, it was there, but you didn't force it down. Like, you didn't do it everywhere where people was like, WWTV, WWTV, WWTV. You guys kept it to a minimum, and it still worked, and you guys still were able to do what you did. You know, especially with the whole Justin Jericho thing. By the way, damn you, Chibusa! Damn you! Shot my man Justin Jericho. But congratulations go to Justin Jericho, the new Intercontinental Champion for UCCW. So that was really good. And as if WWE got my tongue twisted there. Would ACW be ready for WWE invasion? WWE TV invasion? Of course. I mean, WWE TV is impressive and all, but I'm confident in my rosters that we'll wait for you. We'll be ready for you guys, and we'll take you guys on head on. So it'll be interesting, but I'm confident my ACW roster will thwart off any WWE TV invasion if there was one. So, thank you guys, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for sending me your questions and comments to me. I truly do appreciate them. Once again, if you want to send your comments and questions, you can send them to me on the Facebook page under the status when we ask you for the newscast questions, or you can message me on YouTube and I can read those questions off there as well. Or you can even comment down below this video and send me your questions below and I'll read them for next week. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys very much for joining me on this ACW Newscast. I need to work on making these videos shorter. Damn you people for sending me good questions, and damn myself for talking about good topics. These videos need to be shorter, man. But I do enjoy always talking to you guys. But thank you guys for joining me with the newscast, and I will see you guys hopefully next week. And as always, stay cool. Stay cool. See you guys later.